What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 333. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And I'm finally hanging up the bullwhip with Adam.
You passing out the final fedora? I told you last week, you better bring another one. The Dial of Destiny.
Finally watched it.
2.5 hours long.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Like, especially the first, 20, 30 minutes. Like, I wish that would have just been the whole movie. It was great. But, got to bring it to modern day, or at least modern day for him,
I thought we were going to get a little more of the World War II.
That's all I wanted the movie to be. It's just him, just deep fake him the whole movie.
It would have been a better movie.
So, the Dial. What's the name of it?
The Dial of Destiny?
It's based
I don't think
on
they called it that.
It's based on the artifact called the Antikythera mechanism or machine. I mean, it's one of those. It's it's absolutely right on par with an Indiana Jones MacGuffin. It's a real world artifact, steeped with
Nazis.
and lots of just lots of speculation as to what the hell it is. According, just for posterity, the Wikipedia explanation for it is it's an ancient Greek hand-powered orrery model of the solar system, described as the oldest known example of an analog computer used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses decades in advance. Could also be used to track the 4-year cycle of athletic games, which was similar to the Olympiad, the cycle of the Olympic Games.
So it's fancy clock.
Yeah, it was discovered in 1901. But yeah, a lot of people were like, it's a piece of tech that shouldn't have existed. That's where things kind of vie off into the tinfoil hat, fun zone.
Yeah.
Is people think that it's too advanced for its existence because it's from 2nd century BC.
Right. So, I mean, I enjoyed that. Like I said, just to preface everything, I like this movie more than Crystal Skull personally. I wish I like the MacGuffin. I like the first part of the movie quite a bit. I mean, I like the movie as a whole a lot, but them opening it the way they did was pretty great. I really like that a ton. And then it comes to like modern day Indy, and it's like his life sucks now. Like he's getting a divorce, kid
He's
died
drinking.
in the war, he's drinking, and it's like you don't want to see, you don't want to see your guy like that. But and then the goddaughter comes around and kind of gets him back on the saddle for a second, where he's like, oh, I got this from your father, and he was writing me all these notes and all this stuff. And then I don't like her character. Like, that's my biggest problem with this movie, was her character. I did not like her character at all. So that's just, personal, but yeah, not a fan of her as a character. And like her motivations, like just changing at the drop of a hat. Her, like everything just kind of like she was really like a whatever Indiana Jones needs in that moment. She filled that gap. If he needed someone to be like an adversary, she was that. If he needed someone to be helpful, she was that. If he needed someone to argue with, she was that. Like she was everything that he needed to be. So from a writing standpoint, makes sense why they made the character that way, but it just didn't feel consistent with like her characterization the whole time. Like if she would have been for real about it, she would have been like, "Well, I'm going back and selling it, being done with it." Like I don't know. It's just
I wouldn't have had a problem with the flip flopping over a character if the first flip flop wasn't a full blown betrayal.
yeah, exactly right.
I think that set me on the course of just not trusting her character the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
And by about the hour and a half mark, I was like, yeah, fuck this.
yeah. I mean, I like the chick that played her. Everything. I think she did a great job, fantastic job. But it's just like she betrays him right out of the gate. Like it
Well,
didn't even build up to a climactic like betrayal or anything like that. It was just like I don't know. It's like it. I don't know.
well,
It just felt weird.
I think with them because there was always rumors that this movie reshot its ending,
Yeah.
and I think to counter your point of her being everything Indiana Jones needed in the moment was to set us up for her to be the next Indiana Jones. Like the movie, I felt like the movie was trying to steer in a passing of the torch type of way, and then when test audiences were like, "Fuck that," they were like, "All right, pump the brakes.
Well, okay.
Let's end it like the Mandalorian season 3."
Well, all right. Here's the thing, though, Trev. The biggest like filmmaking atrocity that I felt like they made with this movie was the fact that like they set up the plot, what the MacGuffin was, and everything perfectly to where they could have went back in time and did some shit, and they could have rebooted it with a brand new Indiana Jones. You know what I mean? Like it could have been its own like tangent universe.
Sure, and as a time travel fan, I always love shit like that. But we're handling a very well beloved IP, and I feel like that almost would fall into cop out territory.
Well, not
I
if you do
mean,
it.
I, but I just feel like on a writing level, it's very slippery, and you only have like the more you try to hone in on certain things, like I mean, the natural way of it, like you're gonna slowly box yourself in, and that's the one thing you don't want to do as a writer.
Well, if they did, they could have done it in a very tasteful way, in my opinion. He could have went back, and one of two things. He could have went back. Whenever he went back, he might have wanted to decide to stay there, whatever, and then that kind of changes the course of history to where like they could basically reboot it, set it in the same time period, and continue to have a version of Indiana Jones. Or like what better callback would it have been if they would have went back in time in the time period that they were originally like gonna be going back to, and he was doing something and a kid shows up and you see the back of him just like in Last Crusade, and it's like, oh, this sparks inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Like they
I
could have
was
done it tastefully enough to make it be like, okay, that's kind of cool, you know?
Well, I mean, yeah, and they technically did do it in the movie. They just had 30 more minutes to kill. They should have left him in Syracuse.
Hmm.
Let him stay behind, find some way to ride it to where, or just leave it as is and let her get on the plane. And then it would have been cool if if we were like I would have been fine with it ending like that. Her being in the present day, being like, damn, lost Indy, but he got the ending he wanted.
Yeah.
Because at the end, he still didn't get what he wanted. First thing out of his mouth out of the bed was like, I wanted to stay there. Like motherfucker, why? You know?
Well, he got
Yeah.
his wife back. That
I
was
mean,
the-
yeah. Yeah.
And I knew he was gonna grab his hat. I was like, grab the hat, cosplay.
Yeah.
She's like, put the hat on.
Yeah,
But-
please.
But kind of spitballing what you were talking about, Griff, though. Like, say he had stayed in the Battle of Syracuse,
Mhm.
jumped to modern day, you know, Helena went on and did her own thing. But then, out of nowhere, because just like in, it was either Last Crusade or Temple of Doom, where we see young Indiana Jones see the archaeologist dress like how he's going to address the rest of the franchise.
Yeah.
And have a little pivotal moment with that, but they're in some temple, and it's a temple that was built to honor Indiana Jones, because even, you know, like maybe he survived, you know, keep it Disney.
It was the last crusade, right?
Yeah.
The cross.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Or
have it to
me too.
where they you know, they find this really old ass fucking bullwhip, and you're just like, oh shit, he fucking he went on, he stayed back in time, sure, but he didn't change history, but he helped preserve it. Like, you know, certain things were more intact.
Yeah.
Certain stuff, you know, like some shit.
Right.
I think Indiana Jones would have did,
Yeah.
because because with the way they've always made Indy a pragmatic character, it would have only been fitting if like his type of character has the temperament to be able to sit back and go, fuck, I gotta let this happen, but you know,
Yeah.
I can at least keep this thing, you know, preserved so people will remember.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like everything else was fine. Like, you know, them, you know, going diving and Mads Mikkelsen and all that stuff, like that was fine. You know, like he did a great job.
He's always a good villain. Mads Mikkelsen playing the bad guy is his phoning it in job. Like he's
Yeah.
just he can do that.
Especially
And
like a German bad guy.
and I mean, and it's not a bad performance, but at the same time, it's very much like on brand.
Yeah. But
Sophisticated bad guy with batshit insane motives.
yeah. But yeah, it was not bad. Like I said, I mean, I didn't really like the chick character all that much. I think that like them having the boy, sure. Like what like we already have a shitty female character. We're gonna have an accomplice to her. Her short round is going to be a shitty person too. It's like, okay, cool. Like he's a thief and all this stuff, and it's like, you know, a lot of people can argue the points like, well, isn't Indiana Jones a thief? And it's like, but is he though? Is he a thief? Or is he trying to preserve history? You know? But and then that was another thing too. Why didn't they bring Short Round back? Like when he's like, I got a guy that's got a boat that can get us there. I'm like, oh, are they going to bring Short Round back into it? Like, is he going to be the dude with the boat? And then you get there and it's like, man, that would have been the perfect place to just drop him in there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why couldn't they?
And
Why didn't
not
they
kill
do
him,
that?
you know?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's
Yeah, I
easy.
know. Dude,
A lot of
everybody,
people died.
yeah, everybody that Indiana Jones went up to was like, "We need help." Wound up, dude. They're just shooting teachers
Mhm.
like in the hallway, like it's payday or something over here. You know,
Dude, I didn't
like
give a fuck.
no, dude. He had the stash to rule them all.
I'm
you
not
know?
going back to Alabama.
Yeah,
It's like, all right.
he's a professor at the University of Alabama. It's like, man, it's already bad enough. You know what I mean? Like, it's already bad enough, and now you're gonna put this evil on us?
So
see
his
what they
plan
did
was to
there.
go back in time.
Take over for Hitler, right?
Well, no, give them the technology for the rocket.
Oh yeah.
That's what he
Okay,
wanted
yeah.
to do. Go back and give them the tech.
Well, speaking of killing, though, what about that gnarly train sequence where that mounted gun's just wiping Germans out, dude?
Yeah. Well, dude, how did he survive hitting that pole? Let's be fair here.
I mean, dude, that was a fucking hereditary level head hit. Dude.
Yes, like it should have killed. It would have smashed his skull immediately, and he would have been dead.
I mean, I
And
was hoping we was gonna get like the classic. He turns around and like half his face is all fucked up. You know, I thought we were gonna get that.
yeah, and then cut to the future, and he looks identical.
Younger, I would argue.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, like identical. And it's like you didn't even get a scar or anything, like a whiplash. You ain't got any neck problems. Yeah,
Got that German surgeon, dude.
I guess I don't know.
A Jurgen.
I mean, I guess being a member of the Third Reich had benefits.
Well, it did for a little while.
Oh,
um, but yeah, man, like I really did enjoy it. It felt like an Indiana Jones movie. I don't like understand a lot of the criticisms of it. Like there's certain things that I get, but I feel like the problems that I have with the movie are very different than problems that other people had with the movie. Um, I'm just like, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, can we get rid of her, and bring somebody likable? I would have been okay with them bringing Shia LaBeouf back over her character. You know what I mean?
well, I
Like,
mean, a lot of the problem with this movie, not just from your perspective, Grip, but as a whole, a lot of people didn't like. I mean, I feel like a lot of people didn't like that character either because the movie. I don't think the movie really did that. I mean, let's budget time. Had a 295 to $300 million budget. What do you think it made, guys?
worldwide.
Good.
400 million.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say 600. I think it made a decent amount of money. I just think
Mm,
people,
383.2 mil.
made its money back.
It made some money back.
Yeah,
But I
but
mean, but to me with the girl, it it did seem like they were gonna push to make her pick up the mantle. I felt like they pumped the brakes at the last minute. And because of that, we get this movie where she's just more or less just a fucking asshole 90%.
yeah,
Um fuck it, I don't care. The elephant in the room, I think modern day politics had something to do with it. Keep in mind, um our old the one we love to hate in Disney helped produce it.
yeah. Well, and it's like I don't know. Whenever we've watched every other Indiana Jones movie, and like they've got different characters that kind of portray these different aspects of all the different characters that they basically wrapped up into her. And it's like Crystal Skull, it's like there's, I talked about this last week. It's like there's almost too many characters. They didn't need that many that many characters and try to flesh out that many people, this, that, and the other. But like at the end of the day, like they could have like we didn't need the kid. They could have put another character there to be another counterpart of what she was trying to be. Like they could have spread it out just a little bit more. And everybody that's like, this is the moral that I got from the story. If you're friends with Indiana Jones and you're not treating him like a piece of shit, you're gonna die. That's basically how I felt after watching this movie. It's like if you treat Indiana Jones like a piece of shit, you're not gonna die. But if you treat him like a human being and you're nice to him, then it's just crazy, man.
One of my now, I mean, we can sit and, pick the movie apart like everybody else has done a million times over. But one of the positives that I liked about it is they brought our boy Sala back.
Yeah, I was happy to see him come back. He's like, I miss the desert. I miss the sand,
They
Indy.
kind of did a cop out. He's like, I want to go with you, Indy. I brought my passport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to do
I
another
was
adventure.
like,
and he's like, it's not an adventure.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
but it
was hoping
is.
he'd come too. I thought that was bullshit. It was
He
like,
couldn't really
oh,
get
you're
around good.
Yeah.
I noticed how he was walking,
Yeah.
but I was like, cop out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
it's like,
it's not an Indiana Jones film without hearing him say,
Indy. And like, I was expecting at a certain point for them to do a little bit of research on Indy, find out about Marion, take her, you know what I mean? And that be
Mhm.
kind of like the thing, to a degree. That kind of be the thing where he's like, we got to find the artifacts, but we also have to go after these guys and, get her back. And that kind of be a thing, But
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. We didn't need some of the things that they sprinkled in there, and they could have spread some of it out just a little bit. Like, whenever he got screwed over by her at first, the bad guys should have took the dial from her and killed her. Like, that's how that would have played out in the last 3 to 4 Indiana Jones. They would have got the dial, or at least that half of the dial, killed her. He would have found out that she died. He would have been upset about it, blah, 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 blah. But that's how it would have played out. But we're going to keep this aggravation of a character around. Like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, and we're going to try to make her likable. We're going to make her character absolutely terrible. And then after we make the character absolutely terrible and you don't like her and you don't want to deal with her or root for her or anything like that, we're going to try to make you like her after that. And it's like, yeah, but why? Like, I don't want to like her. I want to hate her for being an asshole to Indiana Jones.
But that was his goddaughter.
Dude, all right. What is a goddaughter?
If in the event that like the parents pass away or something,
Mm-hmm.
you usually end up taking care of the.
Right. So
Yeah.
she was an adult, right?
Yeah.
And there's no blood relation there, right?
No.
Fuck her then. Like, that goddaughter means fuck all once that individual turns 18 years old. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, if one of my really good friends that you guys have met, they have a daughter, right? She's fixing to turn 14. Now, if I was her goddaughter, sure, whatever. If anything happened, take care of her, all this kind of stuff. She turns 18, we go on an adventure, she screws me over for some money, fuck her. That's all I'm saying. You get one chance. So, anyway, especially something that can take literally, you can fly into a hole in the sky and go to a different time period and fuck everything up. You're out of the wheel. Out of the wheel at that point.
He's not going to
Anyway.
leave his hat and whip to her.
Oh,
No.
and that was another thing that I mean, I was trying to go on the positives, but fuck. One of the things, two things that I kind of had beef with was, one, the tomb scene was lackluster, and second, like, I was so ready for just some crazy, because that's the thing. We get the big tomb scene. We finally get the big MacGuffin powered on. It does something fucking crazy. And yeah, it took us to a different time, but it only did it once. You know what I mean? Like, I was expecting, like, all right, we're going to go off the rails for at least a few more minutes, you know,
Right.
like some time hopping,
Mhm.
or like I don't know, in keeping in touch with Indiana Jones, like they cut it on, and you see the light or whatever, like the first plane that goes through, like they're fucking fried, they're gone, they're dead, like
Yeah.
it's a good thing Archimedes couldn't fly, you know.
Right. Yeah, and whenever the Dial of Destiny and there was like talks about some type of like time travel style thing, I thought that it was going to be something that like when they found it and activated it, then it was either going to make them jump through time in that moment and they were going to be doing like a time heist type deal, time archaeologist stuff, or it was going to be one of those situations where like their mind was like is maybe like transported back in time or something like that, and that's kind of what I thought was going to be happening. And then as the movie progressed on, it's like, okay, we're gonna get the opening sequence with younger Indy, and then we're gonna get older Indy the rest of the time, and then there's this artifact they're looking for that does this crazy nonsense, blah 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 blah. And
And
it's like, okay.
another thing too, if we're gonna talk about the time travel thing, them shooting all those Nazis out of the planes and just firing guns and all that shit, like that's a big no. If you're traveling back that far back, you know, you don't leave some shit like that, much less like that's gonna be problematic now.
Yeah. And I was wondering this too. Why didn't they put them in the future? Like,
Well, I mean, it's in theme with Indiana Jones, man. It's all about the past, bro.
yeah, but imagine for just imagine if they go into it. They're supposed to be going to 1939. They go through it instead of going into the past and Archimedes and all this kind of stuff. They go into the future, and they have this situation where it's like that episode of Doctor Who with Van Gogh, where Indy sees his legacy. And what you know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
have that moment where Indy sees his legacy and what how he's basically in the year 2023, which would have been what, 50, 60 years in the future? No. Yeah, something like 50 to 60 years in the future. Definitely not going to be alive that long, right? And he gets to see his legacy and like the importance of what he did and like all of this kind of stuff. Like that to me would have been really cool to see something like that happen. Like, I don't know.
I mean, there could have been some very touching moments.
Yeah, there could have been. But if you like Indiana Jones and you're nice to him, you get killed. So,
Oh yeah, this movie also was reported $100 million loss for Disney.
well, I mean, like I said, I like it more than Crystal Skull. Like I definitely wouldn't put it up there with the first three, of course. But
Well, see,
like,
and see, that's where I have the hardest part about this film is that it's time travel. It's one of my favorite, I don't tropey genres you want to call it. I don't care. I love it. Crystal Skull was better than this, in my opinion.
and I get that. But if I was going to put one on after I watched the three, I would probably do, unless I'm watching them all again, I would probably put this one on before I would put the other one on.
There
I
was
just don't.
just more. There was more spectacle and more of just like, because one of my favorite moments in this movie particular is whenever when he looks at her and he goes, "I've seen shit I can't explain, dude." Like
Yeah.
it's his one little sentence where he's not talking about the old movies, but he is. We the audience know exactly what the fuck he's talking about. Like him talking to her is us basically hearing, "I've seen people's faces get melted off
Yeah.
on 3 different occasions. I've
Yeah.
seen a priest rip a dude's heart out, I've seen a fucking UFO come out of like, bitch, you ain't seen shit.
Yeah.
And I guess part of me wanted to have have that little tailored moment for me in the film where Indiana Jones gets to go more in depth with that and kind of has that he gets to grandstand for a minute and put this chick in her fucking place. Like, yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're the daughter of my best friend that was a fucking genius. But like, fuck this doll. There, like, you have no idea what the fuck is around you in the archaeology. At least,
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't hate it. I liked, of course, Mad Mikkelsen. He kind of like backbone the movie because at a point you kind of start rooting for him a little bit because you're like,
Well,
I
only
wanna
because
see-
only because at that point you're like, I'm fucking ready to see this thing get turned on.
yeah, they
Like,
talk
let's
about it
just-
so much. Yeah,
Like, it's MacGuffin time, dude. Like,
yeah,
and I mean, and like, I didn't hate it, but I do hate the fact that of all five, I hate that it's cliche in a cliche way. It is the weaker of them all. I mean, once again, just my opinion. I know we're kind of flipped on 4 and 5 there, Griffin, but I know me and you've been bitching and bickering about it. Like, what'd you think, Adam? Like, give us your.
I did not hate the movie. Not at all. It was an Indiana Jones movie.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the
Full
day,
star. That's right. I said full star.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna.
I hit
I'm
the
gonna
air
go
horn,
full
but it
star
didn't
as
do
well. I'm gonna go full
F-
star as well. Like even though
Adam went
that-
full FYFS. Fuck you, full
I
star.
mean, I said when I go into this movie, I'm not going to do what I did when I watched the last one 10 years ago.
yeah,
I didn't. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's an Indiana Jones movie.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm glad that they didn't pass the torch. You know what I mean?
oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
regardless of like what they did or who
Could have
they
been
set
worse.
up, yeah. Regardless of that, like nobody would ever be satisfied. It doesn't matter. Nobody is ever going to be
No,
satisfied.
there's nothing
that,
they
like,
could have done.
yeah, the torch is going to be passed. It'll happen. They'll make another Indiana Jones movie and they'll recast him, this, that, and the other. But
Like, even if the chick wasn't in it or all this stuff y'all have mentioned, there would have been something where you're like,
yeah,
why they do
I mean,
that?
of course, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of course. But I don't know, man. I think they're going to give it about 5 to 10 more years, and then we'll see another Indiana Jones.
I don't think he'll do another one. You think
No,
he
I don't
will?
think he. No, I don't think he will. I think they're going to reboot it.
Yeah.
I think that they'll reboot
Well,
it. They may do,
And he may
modern
be like the
takeover. Yeah,
he may be like Old Man Jones or something.
yeah. But I mean, think about like the Mummy. Like Brendan Fraser's version of the Mummy has been the closest thing that we have gotten to like an Indiana Jones type character, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you?
I mean,
can you
it's basically an Indiana Jones movie without Indiana Jones.
And mummies.
yeah, exactly. So it's like it can be done. It's possible for them to do that. But like because of the name association, whenever they announce it, whenever they do it, it doesn't matter. It could be perfect casting. People are going to flip their script, you know?
But you know,
I-
also by then they could just deep fake him.
Yeah,
It'll be so much better that
I know.
they just forever
know
make
that
movies
it's-
with him in it.
I know that what y'all are talking about is probably 100% what will happen. However, I think when Ford finally, I mean, if this is truly it for him, I think the Indiana Jones films need to be left alone. Let them sit where they belong in cinema history.
Well, did he say this was his last one? Because, like, when Miriam comes in at the end, she's like, "You're back."
Yeah.
And then it just shows that hat, like he's hanging his hat up. You know, that's the way I
Yeah.
was like, oh, he's hanging his hat up.
Yeah.
And then right before it goes off, snatches it. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was the reshoot.
Right.
They're like,
Yeah.
no, we're not done.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
The hat was going to
but-
fall and she
but-
was going to pick it up, put it on. But
Because I think certain characters will always belong to certain actors. Because
Doc
while
Brown.
because yeah, like exactly. There's no
Hey, good
one on
luck.
planet Earth, no matter how much the person gives it their all, no matter how much on point the rest of the production value is, the fact that if we got a Back to the Future and Doc Brown is not Christopher Lloyd,
Well, we're
There-
almost
it's-
there to where Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd can be in the new. I mean, they'll just AI 'em and
Yeah.
use
And-
their voice.
yeah,
There you
and I
go.
mean, and
And I'm
once
all right
again,
with that if it's them. Like, it's
and
like, yeah, that's cool.
I know that's what we're gonna get. I just feel like they should be left alone. And I think that with Indiana Jones, any character that Harrison Ford built from the ground up, no one else can play that character like him. Not in a
Yeah.
degree. And I know that the expectation may not be to be like Harrison Ford, and I get that. Let it be something different. Let it be all this, new take on the character, reimagining. But at that point, why call it Indiana Jones?
Well, here's all right. Two things with this. Number one, they spent too much goddamn money on Lucas to not continue to make Indiana
Yeah.
Jones stuff. Like
Well,
that.
I mean, let's look at Star Wars, dude. Like when you look at the revenue for both franchises from Lucas, I don't
Yeah.
think Lucasfilm gives enough of a fuck about what they make off Indiana Jones, because the money train that is Star Wars is not slowing down at all.
Well, yeah. I mean, I understand that, but I mean that's a property, so it's like there's no way that Disney's going to be like, well, we own one of the largest franchises.
Yeah, they didn't buy it to just
other
hang it
than-
up.
Yeah, like that.
Nah.
But
I
here's
mean,
what
I totally get why we're gonna.
Because this is their first film,
stuff.
right?
yes.
It's their first Indiana Jones film.
Yeah. So here's what I think that they should do. And this is kind of like what they did with like Young Indiana Jones when they did the series and stuff. It was Indiana Jones recounting tales of when he was growing up, right? And it was like him as an old man telling stories, and then the stories would play out, right? Like that's how the show was structured. I think that they should just make Indiana Jones be like um this character, kind of like the Crypt Keeper or something like that, where it's like, here's a story about
Yeah.
archaeology and artifacts, and title it, Indiana Jones, blah 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 blah, whatever, and you cast a different character that's not playing Indiana Jones, and you have these stories that play out that involve from different time
It's like a
periods.
history lesson from a teacher.
Kinda.
You know,
yeah,
he's
I mean,
telling you and he plays it out. Like,
Or to have like a little fun twist on it, have it to where he's admitting to all the times he's broke into all these historical places,
yeah,
but he's
like
changing
it's
the names,
confession.
changes the names to protect the innocent, including his fucking self because he was there.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
like, well, I went around that. He went around the corner.
Yeah.
when I mean Ronald when he got down in the tomb.
Yeah. But I think that that's like why, like that's what I think that they should do moving forward. I legitimately think that they should be like tales that involve other people um that are not Indiana Jones, but his name is associated with it. And maybe
Like,
you
but,
like
like Basil and the German Razzle Dazzle.
yeah. Well, and I mean, like, what you do is like you set up a foundation or something like that, right? It's like Indiana Jones presents insert, what blah 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 here, and it's like you cast somebody different that's not playing that character, but it's something similar to that.
And
You
there's
have-
still tons of really cool archaeological myths that can be taken and spun into really cool stories.
Exactly. So, I mean, and I think that that would be the smart move. That would be the big money move, in my opinion. You could do it as a
Well, I
series.
mean,
You could do
and
it
I'm
as
sure
movies.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll end up being a Disney Plus series because
Yeah.
everything we've just been talking about has that written all the fuck over it. Like, you
Yeah.
have you have Harrison Ford shoot literally one scene split in half to bookend the beginning and the end of the season, and in between is all the fucking stories, and maybe he might do some light narration here and there.
Yeah. So, but I'll give it I give it maximum 10 years before we get a new Indiana Jones / Indiana Jones adjacent property. I think that they'll end up rebooting it, just completely rebooting it from the ground up, and reestablishing the character, bringing a new young cast in to do that, this, that, and the other.
Yeah. I wonder
But I
what
think,
she'll look like or who it'll be. Yeah.
yeah, I know. But
I
But
will
yeah,
say though, I did have one problem.
okay.
I had one issue with the movie. Tuk tuks don't move like that.
They were
dude,
zipping around.
I
Tuk
thought
tuks do not move
I
like that.
that was a detail that like I was gonna keep to myself because I felt like it was like
No.
I'm glad you brought it up because I was like, dude, they were hauling ass
And going like 0 to 60, dude. It takes a minute to get
Yeah,
up to speed on one of those things.
I was like, like I get it that like a chase is supposed to
But
be
you're pulling a
conveyed as
small
thrilling,
cab
and
on like a 2-stroke engine. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's something wrong with the motor.
well, I mean, it's like you know, a chase sequence in this is like John Wick getting hit with two cars.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a movie without one.
And that's how we're going to kill the big dude?
Yeah.
Damn.
Chain him. Yeah, that's
I
kind
was
of
just
fucked
thinking he
up,
was going to show
bro.
back up. I was like, he's going to rip that shit off there.
Nope.
But nah, dude.
He got handcuffed to a damn grate.
I really do think that
Underwater.
they were going to spin it off into her because that
Yeah.
was her short round.
Yeah.
It was going to be those two.
Well,
Yeah.
whenever
And
she,
Indiana
whenever,
Jones was going to change her from stealing shit to sell it to, you know,
Well,
I
a lot
have
of
to
the
I have to do this in memory of him because, you know, he stayed behind.
Yeah.
He's probably dead. Well, she could go look
Yeah.
it up in history and see when she got back.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that
well,
statue's wearing
well,
a
it
hat.
almost goes to show you that she's just been doing the same shit Indiana Jones is doing, but instead of like holding on to it and preserving it, she's just flipping it at the black market.
Well, dude, whenever she comes back, she goes to look to see if there anything in there about him, like what happened to him. Did he live? Did he have a long life? And
Yeah.
when she opens it up and finds something about him, she just sets the book down and the camera pans out. You know that painting where he's touching God's finger?
Yeah.
It's Indiana Jones with the hat and the whip, you know? That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
It's like, he did all right.
Yeah. The penitent man.
Now the
penitent-
Statue of
penitent man.
Liberty looks like Indiana fucking Jones, you know?
Yeah. Well, and they could have done something really, really stupidly crazy where it's like he already knew where the Fountain of Youth was.
Yeah.
They destroyed that shit in like 1938. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, so he could have traveled there, went in there, been chilling with the night dude until
Or,
himself shows up.
he would have become the knight because he would have had to kill him.
Oh yeah, that's right. He would have had to best him in combat. But
Trial by combat.
yeah, penitent man. But I didn't hate it. I did enjoy it a lot. It's just I didn't like her character from like her like when she first
Yeah.
showed up and them having conversations and like how charismatic and stuff she was. I'm like, oh, okay, this is
Yeah.
interesting. And then she's like, as soon as she locks him in that room, which we saw in the trailer, we saw
Mm-hmm.
that happen, and I thought it was like, I got to get this
I'm saving
artifact.
him.
I got to. Well, not only that, but like I got to get it back to this guy because if I don't, I'm gonna die. And Indiana Jones is gonna show up and save her or
Yeah, Indiana
help
Jones the
her
shit
out
out
of
of it.
this.
Well, remember how
then-
many times he would bring up to her, he would be like, what would your father think of this? And she gave
Yeah.
0 fucks.
Yeah, she didn't
Yeah.
like her dad.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, we're going to make the character relatable to trauma. Cool. That's something that I want to face in an Indiana Jones movie. My shitty fucking childhood right now. You
Yeah.
know, like, give me a break, dude. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done rambling about it.
And they even tried, you know, they tried to link it in there with the Last Crusade. They tried to make it a big member berry for that because it was like, you know,
I remember.
give me that watch back. Why? It was my father's.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know,
She looked at him and was like, give it back.
Yeah.
but I didn't despise the movie. I thought it was okay. I thought it was, you
Could
know,
have been worse.
I did think that the middle could have been chiseled down a little bit. It could have been, this movie could have been short. It
Like
did
when they
not.
first beat up with the Nazis in the middle,
Yeah, it
when
was
everybody
too
comes
god
together.
for what the movie was about and for what the movie was doing. It is too fucking much to tell that story. So
Yeah.
there were some parts in that middle that were a little, but overall, like Adam said, I mean, it was an Indiana Jones film. It checked all those marks, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just some of them didn't meet what my personal expectation.
Yeah.
Like
I get
I know we saw the MacGuffin get used, and we got that sequence with them going back to Greece and stuff. But I was expecting a little more fireworks out of a movie that long. Like we were gonna get a hell of a payoff, and that's
Well-
what kept me trudging through the middle. You know?
Well, in that thing too, the way they set it up, it was like he thought he could travel anywhere with it. It's like, nah, it'll only bring you here.
Yeah.
And this
Which I was-
time, like you're supposed to
I
be the
was,
help.
and you brought that up. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it wasn't something where
Yeah, it was locked.
they popped it in and it was like, all right, what year you want to go to?
Yeah. He just wasn't holding his mouth the right way when he assembled it. And
Yeah.
activated it.
He wasn't using any helping hands.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I didn't hate it. I just, I didn't like her character, not the actress,
Yeah.
the way the character was written.
No, fuck that bitch. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
come on.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, my rating is a half star if it wasn't already obvious.
For
I
Ahsoka.
mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
No, for
Oh.
Indiana Jones,
So we got 2 stars.
2.5.
2.5.
You gave it 1.
I gave it 1.
Yeah.
I can look, here's my thing. I've developed this ability over time to just completely tune shit out.
That's what I'm telling. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
and,
what
like, her-
Disney's gonna do. You know. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm not even worried about that. Okay.
Yeah. See,
I'm
and
not
I
gonna let
knew
you ruin this for me.
Yeah, I knew going into it kind of what was blah blah blah, what we were to be expected. But
And I try. And don't get me wrong, guys. I try to as well. But then they ruin it by doing that.
Yeah.
and it creates the problem. And the thing about it is, it's not like it was just a once, maybe just one little one-off comment, or like one little moment. You get to have the young spry kid making old Indiana Jones feel like Mr. Magoo. Like, no, like that was sprinkled throughout the whole fucking movie. She was like, I know what I'm doing and you don't.
yeah, but that's kids nowadays, though.
I mean,
Kids these days. Am I right?
I mean, Indiana Jones in the backseat adventure, I guess.
Indiana Jones and being forced to parent.
It was like,
You
I
know?
guess.
Yeah, he's like, I've already had one kid that I didn't have to do this with. Now I got to do it with another. It's like, come
No.
on, Indy. And look, man, before we move on, the way that they wrote Shia LaBeouf's character out,
yeah.
I get it, but at the same time, damn,
Thank God for taking place in the 30s, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
that's That's crazy.
So he wasn't even. You brought this up last night. I think we were talking about. It's like he wasn't even drafted.
no,
He joined just to piss his dad off
yeah,
because he's a rebel.
yeah,
She cried, "Ma, ma, ma." You know.
It was. I felt like it. I felt like it probably wasn't, but it was also a dig. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just picture him over there in Vietnam, dude, riding that motorcycle through the jungle,
It's raining nonstop. It keeps getting stuck. That's
playing
why.
CCR.
Yeah.
Better run through the jungle, and he just fucking.
Yeah, that was kind of fucked. Like I said, it starts and you see Indy and he's like down on his fucking luck,
I
man.
mean,
Like,
he's morning drinking.
yeah,
like-
like coffee,
Whoa, dude.
whiskey. In
I
the
mean, I'm
cup.
just saying. Hey, I'm just saying. Regardless of where your life's at,
Yeah.
if you get woke up to Magical Mystery Tour, I'd be just as pissed off too, man.
They're like,
Because
it's
like-
Moon Day.
Yeah, it's like what?
He
What's
drive.
that?
He when he goes in the parade scene, it's like, are we just gonna do this in the middle of the parade?
Yep.
When he rides past with the horse and looks at him,
Yeah.
it's like,
Crazy.
okay, like y'all ain't gonna do it. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. So Ahsoka. They finally get back, the band's back together.
this is let's see. I watched this last Wednesday, so
Yeah.
I might need a little refresher.
Well, they Ahsoka shows up
Yep.
and
The whale's fucking like, fuck this.
yeah,
When
they
just-
dip out.
They're gone. Everybody's reunited and it feels so good.
Yeah. You get Balin and Ahsoka's like confrontation for a second.
I
We get our
forgot.
wide shot lightsaber standoff.
Yeah. And then they're riding around on their little tuk-tuks,
Yeah.
getting attacked
Dude,
by
dude,
dog warriors.
They're
hanging
like
out with those
shells.
hanging
Yeah.
out with the Ninja Turtles.
The shell
dude.
people, yeah.
Yeah,
Or the ninja snails, dude.
Yeah, snails in a half shell.
yeah, shell power.
Sticky
Hey,
sauce. I don't
They
know.
went full Ewok on those fuckers though, throwing rocks and shit.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
I like the shell people.
I'm
They're
glad they didn't
friendly.
get slaughtered.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I will say because I never watched the Rebel shit, so I have no like. Oh
Yeah, we
man,
don't.
they met up with Ezra. That's
Yeah.
so fucking cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
the-
He's gonna die soon, you know? That's
Well,
what I feel.
Yeah, but I will say I really liked. He was like, "Fuck a lightsaber, man. Got the
He's
Force,
like,
bro."
nah, watch this. Well, he's
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
practicing.
Well, that's some Yoda shit, and I was like, I'm down with that.
here's what I thought would have been funny as fuck though. They show up there and the force don't work because it's a different galaxy.
Oh.
Like they're out of
Okay.
cell phone range.
Yeah.
He's like, I got
Instead-
the force, and he gets
Nothing
cut in
happens.
half.
He goes
Yeah.
to do that, and it just goes full Rick and Morty, and everybody just starts farting green gas everywhere.
Yeah. I was thinking about that when I was watching. It's like, how funny if it was the force doesn't work here, and he does that, and he gets shot, and he's like, fucking, what's her name? The chick with the short hair,
Oh, the red Sabine.
Sabine. Yeah, rubbing Sabine.
You know what I Sabine? You know what Sabine?
Yeah. He's like, Sabine. Why is his eyes so blue? They ain't naturally
Yeah, it's
that
not
color.
that blue.
They
Yeah,
don't-
he's wearing contacts.
They're so
I called
blue,
bullshit on
dude.
that when I saw him. But
Yeah.
wasn't there some other blue-eyed people? Oh, that was a
Um,
different movie.
in the
That was
Indiana Jones.
my
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dune.
That too. Oh,
So it's
that-
gonna,
he's
it's
on
gonna
the
take a lot of
spice.
spice. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's on the spy.
the spice melange.
He looks
But,
like one of the people from Dune.
He
He's got
does.
that fucking robe on and he's got the Jesus. He looks like Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus piece.
What if-
I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, and it's just me, but the two most interesting characters in this whole show is Balin Skull and Thrawn.
Yes.
I like the chick
That-
too, with the big eyes. She's cool.
Yeah.
She's just kind of like she hates everybody.
So you
Daddy
got.
issues.
So do you guys think that those stormtroopers are real people, or do you think they're like Merrick?
Well, that you remember we were talking about him being the smoke monster, kind of like that one dude.
Mm.
Like magic.
I mean, yeah, I have no clue because like I don't. I mean, whenever they were cutting them down and stuff, there wasn't really anything to signify that they were something
people.
other than them. So I
I
mean,
mean,
I know X marks the spot.
if they end up just being really hardcore battle scarred fucking stormtroopers, I'm down
We've been
with that.
stuck here
But
all this time.
yeah,
but like, yeah, like I was
Bring more grog.
because the whole thing where he's like, you know, I got use for your magic, and like, what did he use their shit the first time for, you know?
yeah,
But I like the little bits too about like how you know, like he very seldom do you see a Star Wars villain like uh, in recent times that's actually strategic.
yes,
Like it's not a sense of like I'm really glad it wasn't a thing where they're like, yeah, we found a Jedi. We think like that she's entered the system or whatever, and he's not, and he wasn't immediately like, well, let's all just go after her.
yeah,
Instead, he's like, let's send a scouting party, send a couple people. They're like, don't you think you need to send more? It's a Jedi, and he's like, I don't got that kind of gas in the tank, buddy. We're sending these guys.
yeah,
That's good. And like he
dude,
got the lowdown on who she was, and he even was like, "Oh, Vader trained this bitch,"
yeah,
Say less.
and
dude is
he adjusted. He even adjusted his tactic to it, you know, like,
yeah,
and just little nuances like that I thought were.
yeah,
And his calm demeanor is intimidating as fuck, dude.
yeah. Well, I mean, he's really tapping into the dude from
He's
A
got
New Hope.
he's got a little Tarkin in him.
Yes, like he's like Tarkin, but like we actually get to see him be more Tarkin.
He
You know what I
ain't
mean?
Tarkin
Like,
around. He ain't Tarkin around, dude. That's the shirt he wears on Casual Friday.
well, he doesn't
No.
have
On,
some egomaniacal fucking crazy person yelling in his ear.
Mm-mm.
Like,
on his off days, he's just tarking off. You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, like for instance, because like he said, he tells them all like he's constantly running those motherfuckers. They'll be like, "We gotta go do this. We gotta go." He goes, "No, no, priority is getting the fuck out of here."
yeah. I like how he talks to the chick though. She's like, but if you call them off, then they're gonna escape, and their forces and numbers and all this stuff. And he's like, but who's going to leave here?
He's
And it's
like,
like,
"Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids."
yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's
like,
like, you
and
dumb bastard.
yeah,
A
and he
schooner is a
tells her,
sailboat.
yeah, he tells her right there. He goes, "We're gonna let her take the path that she wants to take, and we're gonna be one step ahead of her every single way." Then cuts to them in this, gunfight and lightsaber fight. All this stuff happened, and it cuts back, and he's like, "We're missing one. Where's Lord Balin?" And then it cuts back to him again, and he's like, "Pull the troops off," and she's like, "But they're right there. They're surrounded." And he's like, "Bitch, we are
Yeah.
getting the fuck out of here." Like that. What do you not
Who's running
understand?
strategy here?
I've been here so goddamn long. I'm ready to go the fuck home. There's
Yeah, when
nobody
he,
here to bang except for these witches, and I'm over it, dude.
I'm
I'm over the
tired.
witch shit.
Yeah, he's tired of staring into those eyes.
Oh my, what eyes?
like,
I mean those
like
black pits of hell that they
I mean,
have.
if he has to get tied up by that red laser one more time, I mean, I can't blame him, man.
That's whenever I was watching the episode, he's like, "I need every time he goes and talks, I need a favor," and it's like, what are you giving
They
me?
take their gloves off. He's like, not that.
Yeah. I'm like, are you banging them for these favors? Like, what's the favor
Well,
here?
what they do is they come together with their little lasers and make that triangle.
Turns
Mhm.
And
into
it
the
starts to get
sash.
smaller.
Turns
Oh,
into the
God.
sash rune scene from the Green Knight.
Oh God, you spoiled my blouse.
He's like, bring me another shell person.
Yeah,
but
suck the
but
head, not the tail.
but I will say, I will say these past two episodes have, like, I'm glad the show's building up to something. I know we're on the finale and a lot needs to go down,
Yeah,
but it seems like they're gonna be able to pull it off. I hope. I hope it's not another secret invasion.
Yeah. No, I think that, well, I feel like the long game for Dude is like the only way for them to leave is to come to this ship. And if we can take 2 Jedi hostages,
Sheesh.
like, I mean, if we show
Well,
back up over there, because I want him to show back up there. That's what I want to happen.
oh, are you saying you're wanting Thrawn to show back up to the Star Wars galaxy?
Yes,
Oh, he's
Oh,
coming
for
absolutely.
back.
oh, dude, yeah,
It's
fuck yeah.
Thrawn's world. They're
Like,
just living in it, you know?
oh, dude, I've been wondering if they're gonna have a thing where maybe there's some sort of time delay between them getting back to the galaxy in time, and Thrawn is just fucking wrecking shit in the Outer Rim. Like he's
Yeah.
starting there, he's getting those remnants together because he starts finding those planets with loyalists that we've been seeing throughout the Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
start getting
We've
those
been waiting
motherfuckers
for your
rounded up.
return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before they do get out of the other one from Paradia, I think that's where they're at right now. I'm hoping before they leave, we at least get to see what Balin was after.
Yes, exactly.
Because we're in a very cool opportunity to get some new Star Wars, a new dump on some Jedi, some like old stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we've been playing in the same sandbox for years, and I'm finally ready for some new,
Yeah.
We're getting a new
Same.
villain.
Yeah.
He's coming back. He's like, move aside.
Balin's been my favorite character by far. I
He's
just
cool.
the demeanor, like
Mhm.
all that stuff, of course. And then on top of that, it's like he's like, fuck these people, man. There's
Well,
more out here.
Well, here's my thing. What did he see in the Clone Wars to make him turn?
Oh, right,
Because
yeah.
because Thrawn acknowledged him in a military fashion, and like during the Clone Wars, most of the Jedi became generals.
Yeah. Well, he
So
even said that he was Jedi General Balin or something. Like somebody acknowledged him as that at one point, right?
yeah, it was Thrawn. Like
Mm.
Yeah.
when they met, yeah. So
So
I just want more of that guy, and more of his story.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
unfortunately,
it sucks. Yeah,
Yeah.
it truly sucks that we lost the actor because he was
He's
killing
killing
it
it.
in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. But yeah, I'm
Here
ready for the next episode.
here's a question. Would you guys settle for a recast to keep his story going, or do you think it should stay
Mm,
with him?
Here's what I think that they should do. I think that like this is what I would do. Whatever he finds should kind of like pull him like almost into the force, right? And basically be like this huge monumental, because I saw an article the other day, I didn't read it, didn't drop it in or anything, but somebody was saying that like because of Balin himself and because of like whatever's going to happen in the next episode, and it was kind of like a kind of spoilery but not really, basically saying that it's Disney's going to double down on this 25,000 years prior idea, um and it's all going to stem off of whatever he's after, right?
mm-hmm.
And I think that whatever it is has to be like that big, that significant, for not only that to be a thing and for people to be like, holy shit, okay, but also to be like, because he'll always be remembered as the person that kind of like united fans with that. And I think that if it's something big enough, I think that legacy in and of itself would be more than enough for me.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't read the article. Don't know exactly what they were talking about. It might have been a theory article. It might have been early spoilers. It might have been this, that, and the other. But yeah, like That's what I want it to be, something significant enough. Like maybe it's like the first Jedi, or it's the first markings of the Force, or like, whatever it may be. And it be significant enough to where maybe he discovers like there was a battle there, and like stuff from that galaxy is there because of this battle, and like they're fighting over something that he has found there. So I don't know.
It makes you wonder too, because if a lot of that stuff in that galaxy, red's clearly their color of choice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's clearly a Sith heavy aspect of whatever.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's gonna have anything to, how like once we speed up to the events of Rise of Skywalker, when they're on Exegol, and Palpatine's in front of all those fuck that are all in like the Sith,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or dark side acolytes or what. Like, I'm wondering how that's both going backward. I guess the old Republic, and how that's going to translate with the way things are planning out later on. Because I feel like they won't downright say it. That way you can watch them go watch. It's like, kind of like in a comic book, the asterisk, like, see issue 32 to know what the fuck this means.
Right.
Other than that, enjoy the ride,
Right. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I can't wait for the next episode, just to kind of see what they've got going on and what they have planned for us. Because these last
Yeah.
couple of episodes have been pretty action. Like they've done a good job, in my opinion, at pacing the show out.
And I mean, the next episode's the finale, right?
Yeah. So
Does anybody happen to know a runtime on?
Let me look here.
mm,
Let's see. Without getting any spoilers.
yeah.
Yeah, because I know it dropped earlier tonight. I know it. I'm staying off the internet, or at least off pop culture stuff, at least.
Let's
Pop
see.
culture.
It's
What?
not telling me. I'm not
I
seeing.
would say it's probably going to be around 45 to 55 minutes,
Oh
if
yeah.
I had to imagine. So,
I know before we move on to some other stuff, uh, an honorable mention that I want to throw out that I happened to watch the past couple of days, or I watched it today actually. I watched all of the Wes Anderson short films.
how's
Um,
that?
all four of them were great.
42 minutes and 43 seconds.
Oh fuck
Ooh.
yeah, dude.
Ooh la la.
All of those short films after the Henry Sugar one, the one that we saw the trailer for,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
was about a 40-minute episode, and the other three were about 15 to 17. Sorry, my wife's busting up ice in the background. But
Whack,
but
whack,
they
whack.
That
they
big
were
metal
all
spoon.
but
Yeah.
they were all great, man.
I'm gonna get them and peep them. I mean, it's Wes Anderson, so
I mean, you can knock it out within like 2 hours.
yeah. So, But we do have a little bit of movie news here. So we talked about Halloween last week a little bit, like not the holiday, the actual film franchise, about how there's like a bidding war going on with it. And A24 was the one that was kind of that was leading the bidding war and the most interested in it. So, Halloween rumors and possible further sequels teased by Jason Blum. So, director David Gordon Green, director David Gordon
Damn.
Green, and producer Jason Blum
Mhm.
have been busy discussing Green's upcoming horror film, The Exorcist Believer, but have somehow ended up addressing the future of Halloween instead. Though it's previously been stated that Green's Halloween Ends was meant to serve as the franchise's final installment. Currently, the Halloween franchise is reportedly being shopped around for a television project. During an exclusive chat with comicbook.com, Bloom noted it was called The End. That's the end. With Green replying, "Yeah, where do you go after that?" However, continuing, Bloom hinted that the final Halloween outing may not be so final after all. I don't know. I don't know. I've been thinking about Halloween a lot lately. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I was very sure it was our last Halloween, and now, I've been thinking Halloween is coming around, the actual holiday, and I don't know. I don't know. It's anybody's guess. Still, while Bloom feels unsure
He
about
really does not know.
no, he feels very unsure about the future of Halloween. The film franchisee's star Jamie Lee Curtis has already made it clear that she's officially done reprising her role as iconic final girl Laurie Strode. Last year, while chatting on Jimmy Fallon Live, the show's host gave the Knives Out star a contract which stated, "I declare this is my last Halloween movie. I, Jamie Lee Curtis, Queen of Scream, daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis, mother of Lindsay Lohan, hereby sweareth under penalty of perjury that Halloween Ends will be the last Halloween movie I will ever appear in for all time across all sequels and multiverses enforceable by the police department of Haddonfield, Illinois. May God have mercy on us all." The actress then quipped, "I should call my lawyer first before I sign anything." So it says in the article that they're shopping around rights to do a television series. The way that the article read last week was that they were shopping around the rights completely for it. So we'll see. I mean, here's the thing. At this point, if you're going to make a Halloween flick and you're looking for investors, like Bloomhouse is probably going to get involved in some capacity, right? Like I would say Bloomhouse or Shutter. Either one of those would be the
Yeah.
major, you know.
I mean, yeah, and we'll obviously get another Halloween
Yeah,
eventually or show. But I mean, you know how something, you'll see some stuff and it's like, man, let the makers cook.
yeah,
Well, there's some stuff where it's like, let it steep.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Right.
Halloween's like vape, like freshly made vape. Just let it steep.
You put in the ultrasonic cleaner, dude. 4 hours later, it's ready.
Griffin's like, no,
But
I want it the same fucking day. No. No.
Adam
No,
remembers the fucking salt shaker.
but no, but for real though, like I feel like when it comes to these type of franchises, just like with the Danny McBride, Gordon Green stuff, they had an idea and they approached the companies with said idea, and that's how we got those films. They need to continue with that. They don't need to force it. They don't need to be like, oh man, how quite what I wanted. Let's try to do this. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
Halloween will always guarantee viewership. There's such a brand loyalty to that franchise, as with Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. So you can go a long time without ever pumping out a film because the merchandise will constantly keep. Like that money machine will never stop.
yeah, exactly.
And I think that with the rights thing, it should be, I mean, obviously it should be a good deal for all parties involved, of course, but like at the end of the day, whoever gets those rights, don't just start shitting out Halloween stuff just for the sake of it. Like, hold on to it. Let some of that royalties, whatever, come in. And then, whenever a filmmaker or a writer has a legitimately good script or a well planned idea, then go from there.
Yeah,
Because the way last week's article and this week, it just seems like they're just really trying to get everything squared away so they can be like, all right, let's start production of the next Halloween movie.
yeah. And to be fair with it being a Halloween movie, I mean, and a slasher movie at that, the bar doesn't have to be it.
It don't have to exist.
Well, it's not necessarily very high. I think that first Halloween movie, the 2018 one, took that bar and moved it about 3 notches a little bit higher than it had ever been because of like how well the Legacy sequel was done. And then you see, other Legacy sequels come out that do a really great job at like taking that character, those characters in those worlds and elaborating on them. So, like I
Well, it
said,
was
the
a hell
bar.
of a lot. It was a hell of a lot better than H2O.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
Um,
I mean, fucking turds being thrown at a mic and camera was better than that.
yeah. But like I said, I mean, the bar's not relatively high. They just need to come up with like to be. There needs to be a clever reason as to why there's a new Halloween movie coming out, and it
Well, if you
shouldn't.
well, and also damn good, just a good like the thing that makes Halloween a good slasher film is its cinematography.
Yes.
Those creepy shots where Michael's at the top of the steps, or he's just very faintly visible in the shadows behind the character in the shot.
Yeah.
And you know, each other take on the character has had their moments, or at least for me, like with the Rob Zombie stuff, it was the dead silent stabbing in the field scene
Yeah.
where there's no score and it's just you hear crickets chirping, you hear Michael's knife fucking just going ham on that dude, and it's really kind of like it makes you feel like ugh, like.
Yeah.
And I think we can all agree too that in the 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 David Gordon Green movies, one of the ones that I know we all talked about and that was badass was the long shot of him walking, stalking people, you know,
Yeah.
killing one person, getting the knife, upgrading from a knife to a hammer. You know, that whole sequence was bad fucking ass.
Yeah. Right. So.
And I even thought in the very first one, the original that remake, uh, just the cold opening where the guy pulls out his mask at the psych ward and they all start fucking, all the other patients start fucking kind of panicking like a predator that's like birds when a you know like
Yeah.
almost like an ecosystem where like a bigger monster starting to shake and the lesser creatures on the food chain are like big guy's getting pissed, he's hungry now, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see
And
what they end up doing with all this. I mean, at the
because I
end of
mean,
the day,
there could be some really badass camera work done with a Halloween movie.
yeah. And we'll get one sooner rather than later, regardless of who gets the rights and what they end up doing with it. There'll be some stuff come
Well,
from
like,
it.
well, I mean, I know it's a different franchise, and I know that it kind of veers off on its own little trajectory. But one of the things about one of the new Texas Chainsaw ones, it was the remake that came around when we were all in high.
Yeah.
And I think y'all know exactly the scene I'm about to talk about. It's when they pick that bitch up off the road and she's in the back seat,
Yeah.
pulls the gun right out of the gash into the mouth, and then you get that camera shot where it goes through her mouth out the back of her fucking head.
Yeah.
Like that was, I mean, it's disturbing, but it's a fucking crazy cool shot to do, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And slashers, like when filmmakers are approaching these, that's where I think a level of innovation is done, where like you really you go spare no expense on how to shoot that film.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So next up here, Netflix has officially sent out its last ever DVD rental.
Why'd you have to do that, Griffin?
Well, you know. So the streaming giant Netflix has officially ended DVD rentals after decades of shipping out their red DVD envelopes. With September 29th serving as the final day of service, the streaming giant reported on Twitter that the last DVD to be sent out was a copy of 2010's True Grit. A great choice to be sure, but indeed it is the end of an era. While there
Who
are
was still
still,
renting those?
I'm sure that a lot of older people, like,
Yeah.
okay, let me ask you guys, and which may have already pulled it up. How long do you think they've been doing it? How long do you think that they?
20, about what, 25 years?
Yeah, 25 years. So you got to think about it. People that got in on that, especially whenever blockbusters and things like that started shutting down. I mean, if you think about it, if someone that was 45 at the time that they started doing this started renting them, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't really want to do the whole streaming thing," and
Well,
they
a
just
lot of
get,
people don't even have internet still. And that's wild
Yeah.
to
Like,
me when people
well,
like,
when you
I don't
when
have
you
internet. It's like, what?
well when you think about Netflix in its early days, you realize how scammy it looked,
yeah, I
how
know, right?
scammy of a name Netflix sounds like.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it looks like a B tier internet service, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, the quote from their co CEO, Ted Sarandos, said that today, after 25 years, we ship our last DVD. It was a huge honor to join the incredible DVD team in Fremont this week to thank them for being a part of something that changed people's lives. Those iconic red envelopes were so loved that we shipped more than 5 billion of them
Damn.
to cities and towns, big and small, that otherwise would have had no access to the variety of films and television shows we made available. Thank you to all of our members and DVD employees for 25 history making years. Here's my question. What are they doing with all that?
Recycle.
I mean, do you think that they're going to get rid of all the movies?
I think we're gonna start seeing red envelopes and bargain bins a whole lot more often.
I'd
I
pick one
mean,
up.
Oh,
I'd
dude,
buy
they're
it. Yeah,
relic.
just to have it with that
They're
Netflix sticker on
yeah,
it. Like, it's like, it's a relic,
Yeah.
they're a
dude.
relic
Remember this?
now.
yeah. But yeah, I thought that that was interesting. I just wanted to throw that little tidbit in there because I
What
did not realize that it's been 25 years. I remember when they first started doing it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what
weird.
would be interesting is if a lot of DVDs that didn't necessarily make the jump to Blu-ray that are on Netflix. I wonder if landing a copy of them is gonna
Yeah,
be a find. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we got some more news here about Spawn. Okay. So the Spawn
cool.
reboot will release in 2025, Jason Bloom declares.
He's putting
So
his foot down tonight.
yeah, right. So, founder and CEO of Bloomhouse Productions and the producer of the upcoming Spawn reboot, Jason Bloom, has asserted that the comic book movie will land in theaters in 2025. Bloom has declared that 2025 will see the release of the Spawn reboot multiple times over the last few years, and the producers has now doubled down despite Hollywood being on pause due to various strike actions. Check out what Bloom had to say. This is his quote. 2025 is when Spawn is going to come out. I stand by that. I stand by that. Spawn creator Todd McFarlane recently revealed that the script for the Spawn reboot was very close to completion. That particular strike has come to an end. Bloom is still determined to get the movie in theaters in a few years' time. Speaking with comicbook.com, Bloom has revealed that while the plan for the Spawn reboot had been to make a lower budget horror movie, things have changed somewhat since adding multiple A-list people. My original plan has gotten tripped up a bit. You deal with a lot given Hollywood. None of that should be surprising. But you start bringing on A-list people, and we're bringing on A-list people, not just one, but multiple A-list people, and it's going to continue to grow. What they're not going to want to do is a cheap, low-budget movie with all these big-name people on it. That's why. That's not why they're signing up. They're not looking for a big extravaganza, but they're also not looking for an $8 million horror movie budget. So
I'll
that's what
believe it when
we.
I see it. You know,
I mean,
I, I'm I
2025.
I mean, hey, and then 2025 comes, man. It's man with scripts almost there, bro. It is
Yeah.
almost there.
Well, we'll see, but like, I mean, this has been the first time I think that they've ever confirmed exactly because there's always been like, well, we're hoping to release it in like 2 to 3 years. We're still working through this. We're still working through that. Then like Jamie Foxx was attached to Star. Not sure if he's still attached to Star or what's going on with that. So
I
we'll
mean,
see.
remember? I mean, I'm sure it probably hasn't aged well because I haven't seen it in a while. But that fan film that we watched years ago,
Oh yeah, yeah,
where it's just a chick in the grocery store, and then she goes down that aisle, has some sort of like prism, and then spawns there. Like
Yeah, I remember.
that shit was badass, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll see what's going to be coming of it, but I think that it'll come out. It'll be it'll either be popular and do good or it won't. We'll see.
Well, I mean, they should they need to just hire like Wazamo and let him be Violator again, man.
Well, here's what's going to happen. They're going to
Squash, don't squash the beef, patty it out, dude. Make a burger,
well
make a big Grayson.
they're going to cast somebody else to be Violator, and then he's going to be like, they're not hiring enough Italian dudes. It's like
They violated the Violator, man.
yeah, it's like, whoa, okay, whatever. So next up, Ocean Gate Titan submersible tragedy to be made into a movie.
Who fucking soon?
Yeah. Living up to the idea that a real life tragedy will be turned into the next big movie as quickly as possible, Mind Riot Entertainment is now developing a project based on Ocean Gate and the submersible implosion tragedy that happened back in June. Yes, just a few months ago. The project has tapped E. Brian Dobbins of comedy slasher The Blackening and the TV series Blackish to co produce. Mind Riot's own Justin McGregor and Jonathan Kesey, are on board to co write the script, which currently has the title Salvaged, a title it shares with a docu-series also now being developed by Mind Riot Entertainment. You can read the statement from lawyer turned filmmaker Jonathan Kesey below. The Titan tragedy is yet another example of a misinformed and quick to pounce system. In this case, our non-stop 24/7 media cycle that convicts and ruins the lives of so many people without any due process. Our film will not only honor all those involved in the submersible tragedy and their families, but the feature will serve as a vessel that also addresses a more macro concern about the nature of media today. I like how he said vessel, like pun intended.
Whistle, yeah.
That's an interesting choice of people to make the movie. Like the dude that worked on Blackish, like that's like hardcore comedy, right?
I think so, yeah. And he wrote
mean,
The Blackening, so
how are we gonna get to the bottom of the ocean? And dude holds a PlayStation 4, man.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. Like by the time they get this filmed and everything, it'll be 20.
I think it's in bad taste, man. I mean, like whether they were millionaires or not, dude. A lot of like all those people died a pretty brutal fucking death.
Well, they didn't know.
I mean,
they had no idea. They heard the noise and lights went out.
Yeah.
It does suck though, but I mean, if anybody deserved it, it was the guy that was the pilot, because he was like, he didn't want people that had experience working there, because people would tell him this is not safe. So he fired them all and just hired like really young people with no experience.
Right.
Oh, it's just gonna be a slow shithole. Like
I think it's gonna be a comedy,
which is even more bizarre. Because like if it's
I mean, y'all remember the trailer for The Blackening, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's kind of a weird thing.
It's got like a 60s font thing to it.
But like the reality is like, if they start working on this flick now, even if it comes out like 2024, like around this time next year, people are going to forget all about it.
I mean, a lot of them probably already have.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that that's the nature of everything moving forward. I think that just because of like,
or just everything always, like every little tiny thing that happens in our world gets reported on. It's just a flood of, this. Oh yeah, by the way, there's big waves on the coast of the Salem. Hey, there's a storm in the south.
Yeah. So, in the way that everything moves in media so quickly, it's like they don't have to give it air. if a week after it happened, they're
No
like, we're
pun
making a movie.
intended, Griffin.
Well, I mean, but I didn't even think about that. But like, if they would have started it up a week after, too soon. But like in June that happened, it's October now. I guarantee you, you ask any random person, "Hey, do you remember that? Oh, do you remember the implosion?" They're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" Then you're gonna have to go in. Remember the submarine that went down for the Titanic and they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that with the
They're like implosion. They'll
Logitech
go,
controller."
you mean that TikTok where that big ass bomb went off? No, dude, that's an explosion. Talking
Yeah,
about implosion.
right. So I don't know. It's just interesting. It's kind of an interesting little case study of like how quickly like information in the media and just people sharing stuff gets thrown around so much so quickly and then it just disappears off the face of the planet. Like it's just gone.
I mean, I wanted that motherfucker's not real movie.
Yeah. Well, it'll happen. I mean, I don't think enough time has passed on that one. So,
I mean, she's telling you right now.
yeah. Next up here, Minecraft movie breaks ground as tentative filming date has been revealed.
This is
So-
still the weirdest. This is the weirdest thing for a movie ever.
I mean, I think it makes sense as a movie.
It's on brand. It's Minecraft. Minecraft's fucking weird if you start really thinking about it. But Jason Momoa in a Minecraft. Are you kidding me?
I mean, so as the cinematic world continues to embrace the universe of pixels, blocky characters, and expansive landscapes, enthusiastics hold their breath for the silver screen adaptation of the global gaming phenomenon Minecraft. After years caught in the stifling grasp of development despair, the project has made a bold stride forward, unveiling a tentative date to commence filming. The air is thick with anticipation as the Minecraft movie inches toward reality, slated for release in the exuberant year of 2025. You're not writing a novel. You're writing a news article about goddamn Minecraft. We don't have to fancy this shit up as much as we are here, writer. Okay.
And nobody's holding their breath.
Yeah. The information surrounding the film remains somewhat enigmatic, but what is known carries a promise of epic proportions. The renowned Warner Brothers has taken the production helm and whispers swirl about the involvement of none other than Jason Momoa, renowned for his portrayal as Aquaman as the lead star. Per Variety has been revealed that the film's production team embarking on this ambitious journey with a completed script in hand. That should the SAG-AFTRA strike see a swift resolution, cameras for the Minecraft movie will begin rolling as soon as spring of 2024. Yet the odyssey leading to this juncture hasn't been without its series of formidable stumble blocks. Warner Brothers had set their sights on translating the beloved game into cinematic language nearly a decade ago, a dream proclaimed to the world in 2014. Despite their unwavering vision, the path was marred with delays as release windows in 2019 and 2022 came and went, leaving fans with a lingering hunger for pixelated adventures on the big screen.
I just wish it'd be a Mob Squad movie.
Yeah, I know. Or I wish.
Just imagine if Jason Momoa plays the voice of the pig that can somehow
Well, the
talk to the
reason
main
he's
character.
in the movie, it's Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's wearing a fucking Aquaman skin.
Oh.
Explain. There you
Could
go.
you
That
imagine?
That would be great if
I
it's
mean,
kind of a meta
I think
thing.
it's gonna be funny.
Like they
Yeah.
acknowledge that someone's playing the game.
Like now, there's kids that play Minecraft, but most of the people that are older that, you know,
Yeah.
that it kind of launched with, like,
Well, because of how well the Lego movie was and how
yeah,
this movie will make $1 billion probably.
Well, for sure, but like if they can get the writing anywhere near the Lego movie.
Like, have you ever fought the Ender Dragon before?
Yeah, like if they can get it anywhere near that, then it'll be in a good spot. Because like that the Lego movie was made for kids, but it had adult written all over it. You know what I mean?
Now, and I mean, and the thing, I know they have little like story stuff here and there, and I haven't played Minecraft Legends, But I did fuck around with Minecraft Dungeons. And the little stories that you play through and that, like, there's absolutely room for a movie there. Really good family adventure. It's just like I said, it's just funny as hell that Jason Momoa is in it.
Well, originally Charlie Day.
Yeah, I remember that.
attached.
Wasn't he gonna direct it or something?
Yeah, he was going to direct
And
it and
star?
star
Like-
in it. Yeah, and that would have been to me the perfect Steve voice would have
Yeah.
been Charlie Day.
And you know, Minecraft's also, it's an old enough game that there's a generation of kids out there younger than us that grew up and this is their game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're gonna be able to cash in on like so many like gut punch moments, like parents playing Minecraft with their kids, the kids finding Minecraft and structures to like, you know, like I hope they touch on stuff like that, like without being too on the nose.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
that would be cool. I mean, they said they have a script done, so I would be interested to see what they're gonna do, because I mean, essentially, at least from what I remember, played it. When you quote unquote beat the game, you basically get a long, vague ass poem saying, "Hey, can't believe you got this far. Go the fuck outside, dude.
Yeah.
Go do
Yeah.
something." Like,
Yeah, that's exactly how it ends. So, you know, we'll see what they decide to do with it. I still hope that it's fully animated. I hope they don't try to make that transition into live action or anything like
Nah.
that.
nah, man. The charm of the game is the damn squares, dude.
Yeah. So we'll see. 2025 is shaping up to be a pretty good year so far.
Yeah, they're gonna
Spawn,
have to go against
Minecraft.
Spawn.
Yeah, right. So
I mean, we're gonna need some sort of escapism after 2024.
is
It's
the
an
Mayan
election
calendar.
year, bro.
Oh yeah. I was yeah.
Regardless of who wins, dude, it's gonna be like, oh,
Oh shit!
it's gonna
Here
be
we go again.
it's gonna be that first year of one group bitching about the other.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So last up here, Marvel Studios will soon start meeting with writers for upcoming X-Men movies. So the return of the X-Men to the big screen is getting closer as Disney Plus prepares to welcome the most famous mutants to its catalog with X-Men 97 and with Deadpool debuting in the MCU next year. The collision between the former Fox franchise and the Marvel Cinematic Universe is inevitable, and the studio knows it. Beyond the comics, the X-Men universe has become one of the most successful brands in Marvel's entire history. From the animated series of the 90s through the original trilogy of films in the aughts, its continuations years later, the Wolverine saga and the Merc with a Mouth films, mutants have dominated the screens for years. After the merger between Disney and Fox, fans have been waiting for the arrival of the X-Men to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, uniting the world of the Avengers with that of the mutants. Although there have already been some references to the existence of these characters in some MCU projects such as Miss Marvel or Black Panther Wakanda Forever, everything will become reality when Ryan Reynolds returns to wear the red mask of Wade Wilson next year. But that will only be the beginning. Deadline broke the news on Friday that Marvel Studios will soon start meeting with the writers to receive pitches for upcoming films based on the X-Men franchise. Obviously, there is still a long way to go before any of these projects hit theaters, but it is an important step forward for the future of the MCU, whose stories beyond Avengers Secret War are a mystery. And then it goes on to talk about X-Men 97, which I'm going to check out. I mean, I enjoyed watching the 90s X-Men cartoons.
Da-da-da-da-da. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, it was Saturday morning, bro.
Yeah. So it to me, this is what I'll say about it. X-Men, because the Fox and Disney merger happened how long ago at this point? Hold on. Let's see. That happened in 2017. It was so it was announced in 2017, completed in 2019, right? It's 2023 now. 71.3 billion. It's kind of felt like they've been holding off on doing anything with the X-Men, and you like basically keeping them in their pocket for rainy day. I mean, I know that that's not technically the case because they had a lot of other stuff planned out for the future. But I mean, if they announced it in 2017, when did Endgame come out? 2019? Yeah, 2019. So, and it went through in 2019. So after that came out, after Endgame came out, then Feige and his team got together and started planning out the next arc of the MCU. And in that arc, they're like, we're going to do the Deadpool sequel. And that's all we're not going to introduce any mutants. We're not going to have any mutant related things come out at all. And it's weird. And same thing with Fantastic Four to a degree. It felt like they kind of kept that stuff in their back pocket for a rainy day. That way, if it started getting stagnant, oh, we've got Wolverine and we've got Mr. Fantastic and we've got Professor Xavier and Magneto. It's it kind of felt like they've kept it close to the chest for if things start falling apart in some capacity. And I'm glad that they're finally starting to, bring some of that to light and everything, but I don't know. I'm very interested in the Deadpool movie because depending on how the Deadpool movie is, and maybe that's like one reason they're like, okay, we'll do Deadpool, and that's going to be how these worlds collide and how these things happen and how we introduce what these people are, this, that, and the other. So there could be more to the story. It's just weird. Like you acquire Fox for $71 billion. And a large portion of that $71 billion is MCU properties, Marvel properties. And you don't do anything with any of those properties for 5 years. Like it's weird, But anyway.
I mean, Disney stock is pretty shit, so I mean, clearly there's not that many good decisions going on. But I get
Well,
I get what you're saying.
yeah. But I'm ready for it. I mean, I'm ready for Deadpool. I'm just ready for them to start bringing some characters in there. And it's one of those things too. It's almost like, man, like James Gunn's doing his DC thing, but could you imagine if that never would have happened and he had the ability to to take over for some of those weird X-Men teams, kind of like what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy, and the weird characters like Alpha Flight would have been perfect, like something like that. So,
Yeah.
but I'm ready for it, man. But yeah, that's all the movie news. Yeah.
I remember.
Is that theme song more iconic than the Power Rangers theme song?
No.
Nah.
No.
Nah, dude.
Whether you're a fan or
Mighty
not, dude.
Morphin Power Rangers, though.
Whether you're a fan or
there.
not, tap a mile away.
I mean, it's just shred your face off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I believe we do trailers next.
Yeah, I'm
Trailers.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I dumped a shitload of trailers this week. I kind of took the wheel for a second, and I know we usually watch a lot of what's current, usually what's dropped, and I know that those are definitely here.
We got a few new ones at the bottom.
But
I'll save the rest.
I figure I'd just take my chances and roll the dice. Tenders for. After this first trailer, along with the gods, the rest of the trailers that I have dropped are all part of the Criterion collection, so they all have some renown to them. They're not just ass pulls. Some of them were different lists. I spent probably a good hour and a half.
I see. Early too.
On Criterion's website today, because it all kind of started because I'd seen that Hideo Kojima guy made Metal Gear Solid. The recent people that posted his top 10 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly wasn't going to sit. So I just kind of hopped from people. I was I should have tagged which list each one came from. The more creepy, most of them kind of have a little gas, but some was pulled from Kojima, obviously the Japanese film from the 60s and stuff. But for instance, some others were picked from Aubrey Plaza's list for. And another one was can't remember the guy's name, but he starred in Midsummer.
And you're getting too far away from your mic or something, man.
Some of the picks were okay. Some of the picks that are further down the list were pulled from the actor who was in Midsummer, one of the dudes.
Mm-hmm.
He also happens to be a filmmaker, so he had a. And but yeah, that's kind of the connecting thread to trailers 2 through 8. This first one was just a random. I just saw, like, okay, Japanese blockbuster. Okay, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
I think this is a 2-parter. I think it's almost like it's like a it's like Japan's version of not in theme, but like, like they're big. We're gonna put a lot of money in it.
Right.
So some of these trailers might be good. Some of them might suck ass. I'm just yeah.
Y'all ready on the first one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
Mm-hmm.
Kim Jong-ho.
What up, Kim?
Look at him. Oh, that's him dying. Kuja. That's something I've never seen. A Asian firefighter movie.
Yeah.
Lightsabers. It's a lot of writing just to say find my son.
I'm not right.
He's been judged.
Looks pretty good. Definitely would check that out.
There is also a sequel to it. So
Yeah, Along with the Gods, the last 49. It's got the other one's got the dude from Train to Busan in it. So yeah, I'm DT Dub on that. Both of those. I got my pick for Foreign Film February, by the way.
I got mine too.
I started to drop the trailer for mine in here, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna hold it.
With this trailer coming up, make sure you have your subtitles on here set to English.
My Foreign Film February pick is Dogtooth. So y'all stay away from it.
Oh, I'm picking The Holy Mountain.
So this movie is supposedly about hell, and it kind of has like it's one. I mean, it's a Japanese movie, so when it goes off
From
the rails, it
1960.
probably stays there. Yeah, for its time, apparently its big hell sequence is really is very iconic in Japanese movies. So, ready when y'all are.
Yeah, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, play.
Mm-hmm. This is The Ring, dude. Nah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Jackie Chan.
Mm-hmm.
But it can't be. Because he probably would have been like 10.
I mean, for 1960, it looks kind of fucking nuts, to be honest with
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I don't want to go to Japanese hell.
you.
I know that.
So in this next one, now some of these trailers, I just watched a couple seconds to make sure they were back the trailers since they're such old films, and not just someone going, "So I watched this and here." So across another us. Um, but just when you watch this trailer, pay attention to who the lead is. Y'all are seeing. I didn't go that far with it.
All right.
But I was like, holy shit, okay.
Tie me up, tie me down.
All right,
Ready when
3,
you are.
2, 1, play. Well, that's
Mhm.
Antonio Banderas.
Jesus.
That's why his shirt was wet. That
Yeah.
happened before. Oh,
Damn.
that's a lead wire. Damn. He just headbutt her?
Jesus. Yeah.
This music's giving me anxiety.
Yeah, right.
She's pretty. He's all fucked up. No headbutt. Oh, little Zorro. Markable.
Okay. So speaking of anxiety, um, so the trailer doesn't explain what this movie is at all, clearly.
Looks like a
But
romantic comedy.
well, I looked up what it's about. Antonio Banderas plays this guy who kidnaps a porn star and tries to make her fall in love with
I mean,
I think he might be a killer. I'm not sure.
right.
But yeah. This movie, 8.5, showed up on a lot of people's list. When I saw what it was about and some of the trailer, I was like, this is an Adam movie. Because it's a movie about making movies.
Okay. Okay.
So I was like, I'll throw it in the pile.
8.5.
Y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
You ready, Trev?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
As you can tell, it's full on art house.
1963. That's what I'm talking about. It's definitely got the Criterion treatment.
Yeah.
It's a Blu-ray rip.
It looks great.
Yeah. Mole, 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 mole. What the fuck?
It looks good. The fears of the creative mind.
I see that.
Yeah. Okay. Hour of the Wolf. Wolf. I like on Max. So, you know.
All right, y'all ready?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, ready.
3, 2, 1, play. This is Rotten Tomatoes classic trailers. I haven't seen this channel yet. Mask, hide behind faces. Oh,
Hello, YouTube.
I'm giving it a like for the YouTube titty.
Yeah, right. Deserves it.
That dude kind of looks like a house.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a little more anxiety. Mm-hmm. That makes me think of when I was a kid. I would have night terrors that a wolf would chase me at night.
So that
It
was
was
the hour of the
the
Wolf.
hour of the wolf for me, dude.
I mean, I saw who it starred and everything, and was like, yeah, I mean, and it's how long had it been since you watched a genuine trailer where it was narrated like that? You know,
Yeah.
So Peeping Tom, interesting thing. This movie was made around the same time as Hitchcock did Psycho.
Mm.
And you'll tell by the trailer that it's ultimately the same concept.
But in color?
Yeah. This movie tanked because it did press screenings, and for the type of movie it was, people were like, what the fuck? Get this shit out of here. And Hitchcock saw that because this movie effectively made the director no longer. He never.
They're like, you'll never get work in this town again, buddy.
Like, I think he went on to do shit, yeah, but nothing of this caliber. Be able to have a wider.
Oh, it's on Tubi.
But anyway, Hitchcock saw that play out. He decided. Hitchcock saw all that shit play out, and he decided not to press screen Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, could have possibly been,
Yeah.
it was his canary in the coal mine for, hey man, just put it out in the public,
Yeah.
The director did a few things after, but he didn't have a lot of work. But dude, this dude goes back to the 40s. Like he made first film 1930. This dude was born in 1905. That is wild, and lived to 1990. That's crazy.
Wow.
And we're
Almost
seeing
a
his
full
movie
decade.
trailer today in 2023.
Yeah.
This is another one. This is another one of those trailers, man, that you just can't help but love, whether you're interested in the film or not.
What is this? There's another. Okay, I'll come back to that later. Beep and Tom, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
Optimum release. Hmm.
The good old days
Yeah.
when a camera sat on a tripod. But pity him also. Film set. Oh, he likes to watch. You know what I'm saying?
He's a peeping Tom.
The lonely stranger. Damn, this motherfucker been making movies in color. Merci.
Privacy.
Privacy.
Privacy. What privacy?
I think that's why they call it the privy.
Yeah.
Because you need a little
That makes
privacy
sense.
in the privy.
Yeah.
Privacy. No.
One of the greatest horror movies of all
50th
time.
anniversary reissue.
Third Man, Scott Orson Welles, renowned UK film. Need I say more?
Yeah, I've heard this is one of those that's on the list.
I'm shreddy. Oh, it's in 4K.
What?
What?
Is it?
It says the official trailer for the 1949 mystery film. Watch it now in 4K stunning resolution.
I'm only going.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, man, what about me?
Yeah. What about I want to talk about number one? My.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Studio Cannel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You might restore that film, but you ain't restoring that sound.
Yeah.
Look at that. This motherfucker loves to tilt the camera.
Yeah.
There he is. I wonder if the original trailer had that song on it.
I hope so.
So I saw this one on the list, and I remember watching this movie back when it came out, and it was like my dad rented it. He thought it was a disaster movie, but it ended
Nice
up
one.
being completely not the case.
Yeah.
Total drama. It's got I think Kevin Kline in it.
Sigourney Weaver.
I mean, it's got a packed cast, honestly, and it's an Ang Lee.
Mm. Okay.
You guys ready?
Oh yeah.
How about you, Clint Fandango?
Ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Damn, this is 97. Connecticut. Different trailer guy. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
can't leave her out.
Nope.
Didn't even list her down here. Yep. Whoever you get, you go home with. It's like, whoa. It's like American Beauty,
Yeah.
but in the 70s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Looking young.
I just remember this movie made me feel weird when it went off. I was like, maybe because I didn't watch those types of movies all the
Yeah.
time.
Your dad's like, I thought it was a disaster.
Trev's like, it was, Dad.
Yeah.
It
Oh, a
was.
disaster occurs, but
Got something to do with the power lines.
Yeah.
yeah.
Powder. Look what we've got.
Priscilla?
Did we watched the teaser, right?
I think so.
If we
this
didn't, I
gonna have-
did.
This is A24.
Yeah,
Is this gonna have licensed music in it? You think?
I think so. Because I think this was part of the deal. Was they do an Elvis movie and they're like, we'll do a Priscilla movie because she wasn't in it a lot.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I'm
And
actually
how
interested.
else are they gonna sell the Elvis Priscilla 2-pack? You know,
come on, Scylla.
Scylla.
That's what we called her. All right.
let's do it.
3, 2, 1, play. There's a bear shit in the woods. He don't look anything like.
Mm.
You do know that she's 13, Mr. Presley. Mm-hmm. But don't worry. The estate would have you believe he never touched her until she was of age.
Of course.
Mm. Wow, man. What now?
Do what?
Do what? Mm. Okay, so this is going to be Elvis the dickhead.
Yeah.
I mean, he was under a lot of
Elvis.
pressure.
Elvis
Yeah,
the
he was.
dickhead.
He's a star. They got
He
him.
had a
They,
lot.
they had him at the wedding at the cake. He's smoking a cigarette. I never saw him smoking a cigarette. Come on.
We get our
Cool.
first Toxic Avenger trailer.
Yep.
This has got the Dinkle in it, right?
The dink
The Dink.
and Wood.
Where did
Elijah
you get all
Wood.
that wood? Wood. What are you doing? All right, I'm
Wood.
ready.
All right.
Wood.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Damn. She was like a fucked up hot though. It's like they let Adult Swim make a movie.
Yeah. Jesus. Kevin Bacon.
I saw that. So I remember the article. The Dink is playing the Toxic Avenger, right? I'm pretty sure that was
Yeah.
him. Okay.
Yeah.
So the original Toxic Avenger was like, I don't know, almost 6 foot. I mean, he was a
Yeah.
big dude.
Yeah.
So,
Did you see who wrote it? Macon Blair.
Macon Blair.
Yeah. So Macon Blair was the guy from Blue Ruin.
Oh, wrote and starred in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, the
He was
Green
in
Room.
Green Room. Yeah. He was in. Yeah.
I mean, I know they were dropping the gratuitous like swearing and shit. But once dude lost the bottom of his
Yeah,
jaw,
I'm like, I'm in.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, podlocked.
Yeah. He, the, and they said the early reviews for Toxic Avengers in, and it's got a perfect
Makes
score on
sense.
Rotten Tomatoes right
Well,
now.
it looks like a silly goes time. Just lean
Yeah.
into.
Into the
You just
and
lean into it.
Lloyd Kaufman co-wrote it.
Yeah,
I mean, come
Mister.
on, you know.
Lean into it.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Bowtie over here running around.
Yeah. Have y'all
Lloyd
seen this trailer? I mean,
No. You're fine.
what about Lloyd?
I have not. He reminds me of he gives off Mel Brooks.
Oh yeah, dude.
energy.
He's like discount,
Yeah, he's like dollar store Mel Brooks,
but
but
like
not in a bad
rated
way.
R, kind of
Yeah,
raunchy.
yeah.
And he dressed like that. Remember that dude that was like, "I'm gonna teach you how to make money,
Yeah.
mad money. We're gonna make money."
I would
Remember
love
those
to see
commercials?
those two guys have a conversation because they're so high energy. You
At
know what I
one
mean?
point in my life, when I was a kid, dude, I thought it was the same person.
I mean, they
They almost look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
It's like,
real.
oh, that's the guy that
right?
did Spaceballs.
It's like, but no, I haven't seen this trailer. But I know that the Cav is
Superman's
in it,
in
right?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is.
So
They had a teaser last week, and I almost put it in, but was like, trailer will be out next week. I was like,
what a
what?
fucking insane cast.
But it's coming out, yeah.
Holy
But it's coming out
fuck.
in February.
Matthew, directed by Matthew Vaughn. Okay, this is going to be interesting. The guy that did the Kingsman.
It's got
stuff.
Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, John
John
Cena.
Cena.
Come on.
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson.
Motherfucker.
Bryce Dallas Howard. I mean, come on. I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you see him. Damn. Mm-hmm.
We're getting this Sam Rockwell. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's like that movie with
Daniel Radcliffe.
no. Hang on. The chick from Speed
Yeah.
that writes the book. Was he in that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
the guy
yeah.
that kidnapped her.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
But not that.
Yeah.
Poor cat. What's up with that hair? Oh shit. Silly goose.
I want to watch that. I like that guy's style, man.
Yeah, the fast,
Yeah,
the way that he paced the stuff out. It's like,
it's very British. Film.
yeah.
It's very
What's his name?
yeah,
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking
yeah.
Barrels.
It's got that feel to it. Yeah. So
Look at this thumbnail.
yeah, I know. What do we got going on here? Ganapath?
I'll take
Ganapath? Ganapath? I don't know, but I'm ready for it. Caught in a trap.
That was a weird remix.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right. 14 million views in 5 days.
It's crazy.
I mean,
You could just make trailers for Bollywood movies and make money.
well, I mean, dude, those populations over there are so fucking
everybody's got a
huge,
cell
man.
phone. And you can't get around ads on one of those.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. Ponder
Mickey
Rock.
was meditating, you know?
Oh, gotcha.
What the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm. It's a world without hope, dude. Look at those CGI buildings.
Didn't know that was already releasing DLC for Starfield.
Damn. Mm-hmm. That's Ponder Rock.
Yeah.
Look at this dude. Nunchucks?
It looks more fun than ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta have a song. They brought that glass in just for him to throw him through.
Yeah.
It looks like a banger. Ooh,
Next
it's gonna
time
be
we
on
do
Netflix.
one, I want to.
You wanna watch that?
I want to see what a sci-fi Bollywood movie's like.
I'm gonna put it in, check it out.
Please, because that it looks interesting, right?
It does. Oh yeah,
Makes
when
you
I saw
wonder
that, I
what
was like,
the-
"That's the one."
Makes you wonder what Ponder Rock's about.
And I was watching it with the sound off, and I was like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, right.
this is." And I knew, I was like, "There's a guy right now that's like, these people come,
Yeah,
they do not go."
That reverb mix is up to about 40 or 50.
Oh, usually yes, it's very close to. I can't even make mine. But they're
you
like,
don't have the right plugins
no,
for
dude,
it.
to make it peak. It's like,
Yeah. So we're gonna start our first
Halloween.
October Spooktober flick.
All right,
What do we got?
look at this. I've got some stuff to throw out here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've got Talk to Me.
Mm-hmm.
We've got The Last Voyage.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, there's one more. Oh, that sci-fi movie. It's a sci-fi horror movie that was No One's Coming to Save You with the alien.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
watched
yeah,
the
yeah,
trailer. That's a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we could top the cherry with this. It's up to y'all now. The Blackening, horror/comedy.
Okay.
What do y'all think?
Sounds good.
I'm really excited to watch Talk to Me,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'd like to
I think-
watch all those.
Yes. I think we should lead in with Talk to Me because, like,
Yeah.
Marina's been wanting to watch it. I told her
Yeah.
we were going to do it on the pod, and then Corey watched it. Not my brother, but the other one, and he said it was pretty interesting. He said he liked it. So, and everybody has been giving it pretty great reviews. So, I'm
That sounds good then.
I'm really interested to see an A24 like take on Possession, kinda. You know?
Yeah, didn't he say it was an Australian?
Yeah, he said it was an Australian film.
Yeah,
too.
it's like
So-
okay. Well, it's like that's not a
Um,
spirit. This is a spirit, you know.
Yeah, right.
I
Put
think
another spirit on the Bobby.
I'm personally excited for Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
good ratings.
speaking of Dracula, they finally wrapped filming on Robert Eggers' Nosferatu remake.
What?
So it'll be out next year. Yeah.
Down.
And that's the one Willem Dafoe is coming back in it. Not sure who he's playing, of course, but like I'm so fucking excited for his Nosferatu. His vision for Nosferatu. So
Well, do y'all want to do Talk to Me, The Last Voyage, the sci-fi flick, and then the comedy?
yeah, I'm
Is that
fine with
good?
that.
Rounded out like that?
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Sure.
excited to watch that sci-fi. It's a horror slash, and it looked like a possession film
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, the house is haunted, but it's an alien, you know?
Yeah. And that's the one with the fucked up looking alien, right?
Yeah.
Like it looks like quiet place kind of looking thing.
Something like that.
Acting a fool out there.
But they
running
do the
around
classic
galloping.
scene in the trailer when you watch the trailer. It shows the dude being pulled up like from not Red October, Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
and his arms are
being
back, and
beamed
it
up.
does that where he snaps back, and it's like that's Fire in the
Yeah.
Sky, dude. Anytime you see that,
Yeah.
Yep.
Fire in the Sky.
I'm down.
So we got a little bit of everything. We got kind of voodoo,
Yeah.
vampire,
Yes. I'm excited
Aliens.
about that. Yeah.
and a comedy.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned something for Thanksgiving for us to do, like November, but I can't remember what it was. It was a series, but I can't remember what the series was. If I remember, I'll bring it up next week. But yeah,
I
talk
mean,
to me.
is it check in the mail, Trav?
Don't forget to raise the flag.